The WNBA has verbally agreed to a new CBA with their Players Association. This comes after a marathon session of negotiations driven by women who understood their worth and refused to back down from getting it. Now, all of this has just been verbally agreed to, and the information that we have comes from reporting from ESPN. The term sheet still has to be put together and ratified. However, it does look like we are going to move forward without a delay to this season. So let's talk about some of the big financial wins that come out of this. The WNBA league minimum in 2025 was $66,079. This new CBA will reportedly raise that minimum to over $300,000. And with a new supermax of $1.4 million, the average salary in the league is set to be over $600,000. And for the very first time in the league's history, we will have million-dollar players. Additionally, one of the other big wins is a raise to the salary cap. If you're new to the WNBA or sports contracts in general, the salary cap is the amount of money a team is allowed to spend on the entirety of their roster. Last season, that salary cap was at $1.5 million, and it's now going to raise to $7 million. And most importantly, the rev share of this CBA is set to meet 20% by the end of it. To compare what the rev share looks like in the NBA players receive about a 50-50 split when it comes to basketball-related income. Under the previous CBA, the WNBA players were only receiving 9.3%. One thing we constantly saw criticized of these WNBA players as they were going through these negotiations was this desire for a rev share and an increase in salary. A number of people will tell you that the WNBA has never been profitable and that the NBA loses money by keeping the league open. However, it's a little bit more nuanced than that, and also, most importantly, if we're going to directly compare things to the NBA and how those negotiations worked, the NBA took over 40 years to become profitable. And in that time, from the start of the league to the actual profitability point, NBA players actively continued to negotiate for higher salaries and a higher percentage of rev share, as players should as the league continues to grow. The WNBA itself has grown exponentially over the past couple of years, and the players were held to an old CBA that did not reflect that. The league not only negotiated a much larger broadcast rights deal due to that popularity, but has seen a huge rise in ticket sales, jersey sales, and merchandising sales, which with the jerseys specifically, it's important to note that players actually didn't see any percentage of income from jersey sales with their name and number on them. Most importantly, we are seeing a huge expansion of the league, with investors being willing to pay all-time high franchise fees to join the league. The WNBA Players Association understood that the league had more to lose than they did, and the wins that they got, while they may still seem like small numbers in comparison to their male counterparts, are exponential wins for the women in this league. The numbers are exponentially larger than they were previously, just like the league's growth has been. And of course, the timing of the agreement keeps the league's momentum going. We're not expecting to see any delays in this season. And what's most exciting about these wins is the understanding that when we have tip-off for this season in May, not only will we have 2 new teams and more women being able to be full-time WNBA players, we will also have women hitting the court as million-dollar athletes for the very first time in the league's history.